Thank you. I'll see you in.
All right, let's all rise for the public hearing, City of Ellsworth for 28 August 2023. Let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure. This meeting is to fulfill the state requirements of our request to exceed the revenue neutral rate to 80.95. This is also my public presentation of the 2024 budget. It is a leaner year than the last couple of years because John Deerdoff started it and we're continuing it. We're stopping. What was happening before is we're shifting what we're doing based on auditor guidance and based on Gatsby guidance, which is water sewer fund remains self-sustaining, and we have to raise revenue utilizing the feed the current stuff that we already have and come up with new streams to try to fund our departments, which is through taxes and other things. Whereas before, what it appears to have happened is we were using water to supplement a lot of that, and so we're kind of shifting. We put a halt to that, and unfortunately now that's leading to us looking short in the short term, but it'll fix the problem and we'll adapt and overcome. But there's a lot of good things going on. This is a reflection of the budget of the priorities that I am proposing to council based on what I have learned since being here and my professional opinion of how we can be better. A lot of it is driven towards planning and halting the brakes a bit on what we've been doing, reevaluate our processes, and really communicate with council and the public on where you want us as an entity to take the city. I've been also knocking out a lot of the things that you've asked me to do, a lot of projects that were given to me. I've closed out the sidewalks, for example. We've also are closing out the multi-use path. It's currently being worked on as we speak. A lot of these projects have been on the docket for years. We're closing them out. We're also have the Kreisig Park Advisory Board that we've been working. The council has allowed me to work with Jessica Coates and the board. Many of you are here trying to figure out how we can confront a lot of these challenges and get your input as well, and just continue to move forward. And a lot of that includes reorganizing some of the departments. I have shifted some of our resources to building inspections and code enforcement. The idea behind that is not to punish anybody, but to show you that we're willing to reinvest in our community. And part of that reinvestment is cleaning it up. I'm also working on with council on things like redefining weeds, redefining who's responsible for what. Those are important things internally that we can fix, that they can give me guidance on, and further define it so that when I guide the staff to do it, we can do it efficiently. All of this stuff combined, we've completed the hat, which is a huge accomplishment for us. We have had some issues uploading it, but thanks to the community, you all have done it. I couldn't have done it without you and your contributions. That hat, we basically went around the entire city through a number of means, through county and otherwise, and mapped out what our housing situation is right now. And that gives us a lot of data, and we can build plans off of that data. And I'll be working with the Planning Commission over the next year and council to start rewriting our comprehensive plan. The last time it was updated is 2010. What that'll do for our community is it'll allow council and the Planning Commission to guide me based on the data that I collect on what projects we're going to do. We've got Brian Foster, who has been working with us since last year to map our entire water and sewer network He is still doing that. He presented preliminary maps here. And that has been, I'm very excited about that. That'll be a part of my plan, and it'll also give me a guide for where I will advise council that we need to focus our projects, especially with not pulling from water sewer anymore. I'm not just gonna let that money sit. We're gonna actually use that to invest in updating our infrastructure throughout the city. And he will give me a list of recommended projects that I'll include in that plan. Other things too. So I'm focused on planning. I don't want planning paralysis, but it's just the way I operate. I feel that I would best use your funds that you give us to plan and have a game plan moving forward. So that when we do these projects, they will have a guided purpose in mind for that. Or instead of just reactive, fixing problems here, fixing problems there, actually start moving forward and thinking 10 to 15 years down the road, you know, of how, and so that we can be proactive. That saves us a lot of money in the long run. And because a lot of these projects, because they were done a couple years later than they should have, we doubled what we paid for in a lot of them. And I don't think that's fair to you. You have helped me, you compensate me a lot to be here, and I'm blessed by that, but I want to return the favor and show you that I'm being good stewards of the tax money that you're giving us. So planning and infrastructure and all of that is what I focus on, so we can make good decisions. So, in the budget itself, if council is okay with what is presented here, projected revenue will be $3,228,821. And I am asking for your approval tonight. It be with the current setup that we have, it is bare bones, but it will position us in the long run to be successful. And I can build off that. I'm also working on finding new revenue streams. For example, I discovered this by accident. The fees for the building inspections is from 1985. Just little things like that, because prices are rising. That's a reality for all municipalities, and I'm trying to keep things operating at a decent level with my proactivity, fixing the internal problems that we had. We've done a lot this last year. Another issue we fixed was overcoming the ransomware attack. While that initial investment was high and the monthly investment is high, I can guarantee you that we are fully protected, as opposed to this time last year when I first started, we were completely open. So we have a lot to be proud of. And I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. But it is expensive to maintain that type of network. And that's also part of the new cost, but I don't want us to go through what we went through last year with our entire computer system being taken down. No. And some other internal structures, like, just simple things like, where can I redistribute resources that we already have? Right now, one of the first things I've been working on is one of the departments, the streets department, pretty much was the catch-all department. And what I'm attempting to do is redistribute some of those responsibilities, so that we can get streets back to focusing on streets. So just little things like that, to refocus our resources. Recreation, for example, we're proposing a rec commission. That's another possibility. And then I would shift the parks maintenance over to them. So little things like that I'm trying to do, to just think 10, 20 years down the road, look at it from a bird's eye view. Where can we shift resources and use what we have to create a better product of service delivery to you, the constituents. Here to ask questions.
Yeah, and you need to offer this is the R&R, the hearing to exceed the R&R. So the public is also entitled to comment on that matter as well during the public hearing.
Yep.
And then you close the public hearing, and that's when you pass the ordinance to exceed the R&R resolution.
So request public comment at this point.
You will wait for the first if you want, whoever, you can do whatever order you want.
Does anyone have any comments, questions about the budget?
I have to say, he's probably doing a pretty good job. What I see is the cost of fuel, the cost of insurance, and trying to run the city budget with all those expenses. My hats off to you, because I don't know how you can do it with the cost of things climbing the way they are. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Don.
All right, any other further comments, concerns? Shall we close the meeting then? Raising the drums. Need a motion to do that?
Mr. Mayor, I move to close the public hearing.
Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to close the public meeting. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries. We're gonna go and adjourn the regular, what's the budget meeting?
Do we need to do a resolution?
Yeah, so the budget hearing is separate from the R&R hearing.
Okay.
So it'd be the R&R hearing, resolution to exceed the R&R, and then if you're ready, you can do the budget hearing next. And then you would close that. Does that make sense? They have to be two distinct.
There's four pieces, what you're saying,
Well, yeah, so there's the R&R hearing,
right?
then there's approval to exceed R&R, which you cannot pass the budget exceeding R&R until you do that resolution. So you can pass that resolution, which is a roll call vote, by the way. Then you would go into your budget hearing, make public comment on the budget, close the budget hearing, approve the budget. Okay,
Okay, so we can do the,
sorry.
so we went from the R&R, we're gonna do the approval of the budget.
Approval to exceed the R&R,
Okay,
resolution to exceed the R&R.
so do we need to make a motion to, or do you need to come to a separate meeting or?
You can do, I think you can do that separate meeting, but if you're ready. And it's a roll call vote to exceed the R&R.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt resolution number 2023-06 to exceed the revenue rate.
I'll second that.
Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to go above the R&R rate. Councilor Renard has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Roll call vote.
I'm sorry, roll call. I'm sorry, roll call. All right, Jessica,
Aye.
Tyler. Aye. Wayne. Aye. Aaron. Aye. Darcy.
Aye.
Now we take a motion to.
Now you can open the
Budget.
hearing
Okay.
for the budget, if you're wanting to do that today as well. Is that, am I understanding? that?
Yep.
It's ready, okay. So you're gonna open the public hearing for the budget now.
All right, so let's go and open the public hearing for the budget for the 2024 budget for the city of Ellsworth.
I've already given my
Okay.
piece, Mayor.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody have any comments about the 2024 budget? Chief, come on up.
I would wait for my thing at the end, but I don't know about later. We've got national honor thing tonight, so I'll be leaving that as we run along. So in regards to the budget, my understanding of speaking with Mr. Stanball, the numbers that I've seen you guys presented both in what's in your packet now, does include the additional money for KPNF. The reason I'm asking this specific question is I have an officer who's leaving on the 5th, and I'd like to get that position posted sooner as opposed to later. I don't want to post that position saying that we're capers and then have it change as we move forward, you know, to the next year, we're going to KPNF. I think people will look past, they'll see capers and they'll move on. So my question is tonight, are we prepared, as the city council, going to be allowing the police department to move into KPNF for 2024, January 1, whenever it needs to, you know, go through the caper system? So I'm asking for permission that, approval that that's what this money is being earmarked for in that line item in my specific budget, but also with the understanding that if we do move to capers, or excuse me, to KPNF, we can never come back out, but it does lock us in for quote unquote life, as long as there's an agency here. Yeah, because I just like to, when I post it, coming January 1 or whatever day Callie and I come up with, I just like to, I didn't want her and I to start working the capers to find out that, well, the money's earmarked, but that's not what we're looking to do. So I just kind of wanted this clarification, so. Okay. Go. So I need it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. So we're gonna close the budget hearing? Correct?
Or does anybody else have any
All right. And we need,
motion to close?
we need a motion to close.
I remember we closed the budget hearing.
All right, Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to close the budget hearing. Councilor Johnson has seconded the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye, motion carries. So we need another motion to close the public hearing. Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to approve the 2024 budget as presented. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Any concerns? Final concerns?
So I wanted to, if we're gonna do as presented, we have been working with the auditors and we're still hammering in 2000. Note, as she's scrutinizing it and we're probably gonna do some doctors. One, waiting, Angela and I finished finalize the budget, we did include 15,000. Extra for the Halloween, not for the Halloween, for the, as additional backing, if they needed it. According to, what we've been told by the auditor, we do not need to do that. So, would council have an issue if we remove that 15,000? Just issue the same amount. So, let me go to that. If you go to the library portion of the budget, we kind of copied what we did last year and just put 15,000 in there as in case we needed it. But what we were told is that we don't, by our auditors, is that we do not need it. And so we wanted to take the 15,000 out. Put it back. So, so I'm going to go. Yes, thank you. Angela wanted to make sure. We would just remove the budgetary stabilization. We originally asked for last year, and we're trying to avoid complications because we have complication this year. So we move the items close next year. So I just, yep.
Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to amend the included library expenditures. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Any concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry, I missed it. Closed. All right, motion carries. Now we can use so many different pages of this stuff. All right, we did the pledge. We got the consent agenda, the approval of the August 14th meeting minutes. And we got the water and sewer termination requests. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Not that I'm tracking. Callie, are you?
Copy request.
We didn't quite hear you.
I said we don't have any requests.
Tyler, sorry. All right, Tyler has made a motion to approve the consent agenda and Wayne has seconded the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, the next portion of our meeting are petitions and delegations. For all citizen comments, please state your full name and whether you're an Ellsworth City resident. All citizen comments are limited to 5 minutes per subject unless city council has further questions. Would someone like to speak?
I would say,
Come on up, Don.
John's up or say
No, yourself. Yeah, Don, sorry.
As you know, I'm on the committee on the lagoons up there. We got our B&G consultants report back. And it come in much, much more, and the situation is worse than we imagined. The total come in at $708,000 to even start to fix the problem. Basically, hate to say this, but there was never, the consultant said, why wasn't there a water study ever done on this before this situation started? My problem is, now that we're not pointing fingers, we got a bill for $700,000. If we do this, it's time to go after the bonding company of the parties involved. We don't want to do it. It makes our feelings, but the city's in debt for $700,000 to do this. I won't mention any names of the parties. There's two parties. We all know what they are. I recommend the city file suit against the bonding companies to get what funds we can for this project. We don't have $700,000. I just listened to the budget hearing. Would you please consider, or can you give me a reason why you will not do it?
You still want to answer, Don, or you want me to answer that?
Well, I just feel like if we don't have $700,000 to fix it, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'm not saying you're wrong, Don.
Yeah.
Is it gonna cost in litigation, and how many years down the road, and we're still not solving the problem?
Yeah, but we're sitting here doing nothing, and the city's paying for everything the way it is right now. We're paying for B&G consultants right now. I'd say get what funds we can and move on. We've got, you're bonded, every contractor, every company is bonded for this situation. That's what they're paying bonds for. That's what protects the city from this type of activity. It's time to go after the bonding companies. And let the bonding companies, the city's out of it after that. You let this bonding company fight this bonding company. Okay, we're at this percent fault, we're at this percent fault. We owe the city this much money to repair this situation. That's the best case scenario, is for them to look at the situation and say, okay, the engineers were at fault, but the contractor didn't do exactly what the engineers want. So we're gonna put 40, 60, 60, 40, 30, 70, and get the city some funds to put towards the lagoons. Is that too hard to comprehend?
I mean, did we really? I mean, we didn't.
I was told before that
Listen.
you guys decided not to do it, and this is why I'm here, because frankly, it makes me mad. I'm not gonna say that, get the balls and do it. And I've had some people say, well, we don't want to step on toes. This person's a local company, and this person's not, this person's a local company. If it was a local company, they wouldn't put us in the situation that we're in right now. If they stood up for what they did.
You know, I can answer a little bit of that. I think you're on the committee to come up with a solution, and that's the solution you came up with. And I nearly said, whatever you do, don't come up with that solution, but I'm glad you did, because you see the complication.
Yes,
So that's important. So you spent 4 months. For me to tell you that, you would have been like, you know, you wouldn't have believed it, but now you understand this is complicated stuff.
yes.
Very
Turn
complicated,
it over to the bonding company, leave the city out of it.
right? Well, I can tell you, if you do get elected, we'll go to executive and you'll see exactly why we made the decision. we made.
Okay, that's a bunch of BS right there, because the general public wants to know what's going on with our tax dollars. You just had a budget hearing. I wanted to make those minutes from that executive session public, so everybody here and the whole community knows why we will not do that. because it's total, there's no comparison there. The people have a right to know. It's costing this much money, it's costing us taxes. And if I get on the council, I am gonna push the issue. But even if I'm not on the council, we deserve the right to know that. If you check the bylaws, I'm correct. If you ask Dustin, I'm correct. Am I correct, Dustin?
In the bylaws, yes.
Yes.
But-
So don't give me this stuff, get on the executive session. No, that's not gonna cut it.
Well, Melissa, can you please speak to your guidance?
Well, so the executive session that they had to discuss that was for attorney-client privilege. In preparation for or deciding whether for litigation, essentially. So if they tell you they are breaking the attorney-client privilege. Essentially.
Okay, but then after you come out of executive session, they should address the public and tell them we were in executive session. We made this decision for this reason, and that's public information. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
that they can tell you that, but
Anyway,
it's more.
let's get involved and let's get it taken care of.
Thank you, Don. Any
You
questions
bet.
for
And
Don?
I'm not gonna give up on this, by the way.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right, this is a little bit of a departure, but I would like to speak as a citizen. If that's okay with you? Get the clock rolling. It's been a long time since I've been at this podium, but, there comes a time when you're a citizen first and you're an elected official second. And just want to ask you some questions about what you believe in here. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. It looks like we have some guests here that may want to speak about this in depth, I'm not sure. But part of our core values says right here, we have integrity. We live by our deepest values. Being transparent with our constituents, team members, and city council while keeping our word. Okay? Core value. You voted for this. All right? Not sometimes, not for certain people. Transparency. Okay? What is transparency? Transparency, whose phone is this? This yours, Don?
Yes, it is. ET phone home.
There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. It's all about knowing who, why, what, how, and how much. It means shedding light on formal and informal rules, plans, processes, and actions. Transparency helps us, the public, hold all power to account for the common good. Seeking and receiving information is a human right that can act as a safeguard against wrongdoing and increase trust in decision makers and public institutions. However, transparency is not only about making information available, but ensuring it can easily be accessed. There's a big difference there. Understood and used by citizens. All right, I'm gonna repeat that. Making information available, but ensuring it can be easily accessed, understood, and used by citizens. Okay? So, with that said, my job as a public servant is to inform the citizens. That's it, is to keep them safe. That's what it is. Above all else, no matter who it is, no matter how much pressure, no matter what the costs are, that's my job. And I will always do it. So on July the 24th, we had a meeting, a lot of different conversations, and I had to wrestle with a tough decision. My decision to make the comments public was a great decision. And if we want to have a meeting to welcome the company that I'm referring to, we can have a separate meeting, we can bring their attorney, we can bring everybody that was involved in that meeting.
What are you talking about? What are we talking about here?
We're talking about the cash flow comments I made July 24th.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But right now, you seem like.
Yeah, I didn't even know what we were talking about here.
Well, I'm trying not to, it's not easy, I've never done this before.
confusing.
It is, sorry, I'm trying very hard to be myself. So anyway, I won't talk anything more about this as a citizen, but I wanted you to be aware of what you committed to. If you don't want to do these things, then change your Ellsworth mission, vision, and value statement to use discretion or use adult discretion or whatever that is, but change the value statement. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
Anyone else have any comment?
Any comments? Yep, anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I'd like to comment.
Sure, go ahead, sir.
I appreciate the opportunity. For those that don't know me, I'm Glenn Rogers, President of Cash, and also a citizen. I totally agree having open conversations about a topic. I believe the comments that was reported was not in the spirit of the original request that Cash provided. I think that Cashco, whether it's myself or Justin Johnson, who's our QSC manager, have worked to try to have that open conversation with the city, with Dustin, with the mayor, and we've also asked to come in front of the city council and have a discussion. Because ultimately what we are wanting to do is extend that partnership had with the city for 50 plus years. I mean, the city recruited Cashco here. The city, Senator Dole, worked to get Cashco to get taken private and stay in this. In the 90s, the city and Cashco worked, and Don, you can add to this, if you want, worked to get a remediation plan in place and to be good stewards of a problem that the Cashco ownership that is current inherited from past owners. We've gone through remediation. We tried to bring the city up to the current knowledge and the current state. And we've been trying to do this since the end of June. And for us, we're at our wits' end because we're trying to be good stewards. We're trying to remove redundancies in a place that for an airstripper that's been taken offline since '09, but has to be there because KDHE requires this. All we asked for was a letter of understanding this the city was never going to take the airstripper offline because it was going to be remediating iron bacteria in the wells. We're asking in the meeting on June 28th, the superintendent admitted airstripper's never going to come offline because it's cost prohibitive to remediate iron bacteria anyway. We offered an ordinance because our council had seen a gap in ordinance that Wichita passed that KDHE had approved and likes to apply. We're at a level now that we're closing out our remediation. We're going to be stepping up our remediation efforts. We're going to be spending consistent amount of money to get this because the plume in the contaminated field is within our property. Now we can go after the remediation in an aggressive. All other wells are below remediation. And we're pushing that. All we're trying to do is get a letter of understanding from the city that says, hey, we're going to leave the airstrip alone. So,
Sorry, meaning as in the city's airstrip.
correct.
Okay.
With that, when we close out our site and our case with KDHE, we can say the city also has a backup, or he has an airstripper that's mitigating all of the water. Can we please remove the airstripper out of this building and then turn the building over to the city? Because the city, and over the years, there's always confusion. Whose equipment it is, whose building it is, we're gonna take this out, and then Cashco has to come in and fix it. And I have a statement I'll pass to you guys, just to give you some background information as well on where we're at. Because, you know, Dustin and I, we've had great conversations. I cannot commend Dustin enough of having tough conversations with Cashco. And at the end of the day, we still want to do what's right for the community. We're not walking away. We're not asking the city to take over responsibilities like it was stated in the paper. We know we're going to get to the end. We want to be able to give the city a building that they wanted. They've wanted it since 2010. So I'll leave this for you guys, so you can look through it. You guys can see the history. You can pass it around. You can put it in the trash. But I feel it's an obligation for, as a citizen, as a business owner, and someone who runs a company. I wouldn't want this to happen to anyone else. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, anybody else like to address the council? Come on up, Ron.
Ron Timmerick, I'm here with Steph Coonrod, and we're here on behalf of the seniors in the Ellsworth Senior Junior High School. I'm just gonna ask, on September 24th, this is the week of homecoming. We're gonna have a street closure, the paperwork's been filled out. We want to ask that the insurance be waived for that event, for that evening, to paint the streets on Stanberry from 10th to Kansas. The curve that goes around there to the high school. So we'll pay the $50. We just ask that we can have the insurance waived.
Gonna be working within a closed section of the street.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to waive the insurance fee for the junior or the seniors for painting the streets. Homecoming.
All right, Darcy's made a motion to waive the fee for painting the curbs for the seniors. Aaron Johnson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Any other comments? Sir.
My name is Stephen Hahn. I'm here with Frank Barton. We're here from Gene's Heartland Foods and Gene's Outdoor Sports. We're gonna be having an event on Saturday, September 9th. It was brought to our attention that some of the things that we plan to do at said event might need some clearance from y'all. So we wanted to come explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, and then answer any questions you guys might have and just kind of go from there. So we're gonna tell them about youth outdoors. Okay, September 9th, we wanted to try to do something for the youth in the community. And this is all done through Gene's Heartland Foods and the outdoor sports. But we want to try to introduce the outdoors back to the kids. And we got a lot of sponsors on this event, and we're doing a lot of fun things for the kids to try to reintroduce hunting, fishing, just being outdoors. We're having, the issue that we're having that was just brought to my attention is we can't shoot the crossbows, we can't shoot this, we can't do that. What was not understood by the person that came to us was the shooting events are taking place out at the shooting range. Okay, we do have an air gun event that we want to do at Gene's, but it's also contained. We have numerous amounts of the cardboard bales, which are like 2.5 foot thick. And we're gonna be, yeah, they're like 2,000 pounds, and we're gonna be making a containment area so we can shoot those air guns into those. We're also gonna teach crossbow safety to the kids, because I was the first time crossbower last year and I almost took my thumb off. And I'm like, we need to teach these kids not to do the mistakes that I made, you know, and we want to teach them. A kid that would like to shoot the crossbow, we would like to let them shoot. But like I said, that's all gonna be in a contained area on the back half, on the back area, which is right next to the city limit line. There's a roadblock after parking lot, and we'll do from the whole west side.
Also, we're gonna have fishing game there, Pheasants Forever there, shooting instructors in both archery and gun. We're having the EMTs are gonna be there. Everything that we're doing is not on this sheet, but we have a lot of fun stuff we'd like to try to get the kids to do. And we just need to know where we're at or what we need to do.
And we've gathered probably $2,000 worth of prize
More,
to
I figured close to $3,000.
Our goal is that nobody leaves empty-handed. We've got something, we're gonna be providing lunch, all kinds of stuff. We just, more than anything, wanted to make you guys aware of the event, clear up anything that we might need to do. I get it that we're on close proximity now to when the event's gonna be taking place, but it was kind of brought to our attention that we should talk to y'all, so.
I don't see a problem with anything. You can't shoot a BB gun on private property? Really? Okay, you got me on that one.
We're going there.
We're going there. Okay.
Chief, your,
Have like some type of event insurance or liability?
Yeah, so James, the owner of the corporation, and his lawyers in Wichita have purchased additional event insurance, and then the lawyer himself is working up waivers for separate events, so that we can have that stuff kind of cleared up before it would even take place. So
Chief, do you, are you all right with the plan?
Yeah, I'm the reason they're here.
Yeah.
It's brought to our attention and, UPOC 10.1.2. Basically,
I'm not even-
UPOC says you can't shoot any of the crossbows, bow and arrows, BB guns. It does say that I can issue a special permit. I wasn't comfortable doing that in the place that it was. I wanted you guys to make that decision, just with the world we live in currently. So I asked them to be here today. So, Sergeant Weigel did. I support it. Scott Gooches will be here with Wildlife and Parks doing the safety briefing with them. As I said, he's gonna be there. I just wanted your guys to bless it just for the event. So yes, I support our office, guys.
I agree, this is appropriate route to go, this chief. And I don't have an issue.
And this is something we want to do every year. We want it to grow. We're both avid outdoorsmen and the owner of our company is too. So it's something we just kind of like to reintroduce to the youth and see that carry forward. You know what I mean? Things are changing out there as far as legislature goes and the way people are going to be allowed to hunt moving forward. So we're gonna be touching base on all those kind of different things and the future of outdoor sports for the most part.
Yeah, Osborne does something very similar to this, and they're actually doing it on the same day. Last year, they drew over 400 kids. So we want this to grow, and from the input that I've received from parents and people that's come into the store, I'm looking at 200 or more. That's a pretty good turnout for a kids event.
You can see a list of the sponsors there. Like I said, we've done fundraising all over town. That's just part of them. We still have sponsors coming in. People just want to be involved, so.
Cash go? I did have somebody who was gonna come talk to you, and then I just found out that they had some personal issues and they weren't able to talk.
If I want to cut it down.
And well,
Yeah.
from Moat, Ellsworth, or whatever, we live in Wilson. Oh, yeah. We're not residents of Ellsworth, so, I mean, we're wanting to bring something good into Ellsworth. But we, build Ellsworth or whatever that is, grow Ellsworth, she's advertising and doing a lot of stuff for us too.
Chief, would you be okay if we would make the motion that you can issue that special permit?
Yes, the UPOC that we adopt says that. I just felt, especially for this first time, kind of,
That seems like a cleaner way out.
and I would certainly not be opposed in the event that I do or office issues one, letting you know of such a thing. So, yes, that's perfectly fine. If that's the wish of the board to go that route, yes.
Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we allow the chief of police to issue a special permit to allow archery and air gun shooting for this event.
Second.
Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to approve archery and air gun shooting for this event. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Any discussion or concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. So we're on to, that's still additional delegation, correct? Okay, anybody else like to speak? Anybody? No other petitions, delegations? Okay, moving on to unfinished business, we're at case number 2023-001, that's agenda item report 23-268. Justin, might be you.
Yeah, I was gonna have Steve here, I'm not sure what happened, but essentially I've asked Wayne to come back. And just his 60 days review is here, and if you want to come talk to us about where you're at in your project. Mr. Urban.
Blaine Urban, and the issue is on my house. I moved to Salina, I had health issues, and so I'm not going to be able to afford to take care of two places. So I turned over the house to the bank that I have with it, and they're aware of what's going on, and that of course I have it for sale. So, and they'll either take over it, or somebody else that maybe wanna buy it will take over, which I will also let them know it's a flip house and the issues that's wrong. So that's what I'm doing there. I'll still be working with you on it because I still own the house, so. But, yeah, I'm gonna try to get something done with it. That's basically all I have there.
And the bank's aware of the condition of your house and what needs to be done to it before they sell it to somebody?
Oh, yes, yeah,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
oh, yeah,
Just want to reiterate, it is required by ordinance that you make sure that in the conditions of the sale that it is specified.
yeah.
That you're currently still, having this with the city.
Right, yeah. Not hiding anything. Well, we should know in a month or so what's gonna happen.
Council, I request your guidance on how you want me to proceed.
I just think we need to be very clear that if upon sale of this house or the bank taking the house, it's gotta have a basement, like period, bar none. It cannot be sold without the stipulation that there's going to be repairs done, as we've been fighting for this for the last half a year.
How do we do that? I mean, Melissa, do you get involved in that?
We can't do that, can we? You can't do that.
No.
You can't make them put a basement under it. How would you do that?
It's the house, okay. If I
What if
understand,
you wanted to buy it and destroy it? We push it into the hole.
Well, that's fine.
Then I wouldn't need to put a basement.
No, but I'm just saying if somebody's
There
buying
you go.
into, but if somebody's buying in to live in it, we fought with him for 6 months, but
He
it's
owns the
basement.
house.
I understand that. But
It
if
does.
somebody buys it as it is, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna require a basement underneath.
The proceedings don't stop just because of the sale of the house.
So notification, right,
Yes.
Darcy, you're talking about they need to be notified.
I guess, whatever.
Yeah. So
People that buy it will be notified, everything that has to be.
You'd think if you bought it, you could look at it, make it seem like there's no.
You can't hide
That's
that.
a giveaway to me.
They put a basement there to.
Sight unseen, maybe, who knows?
the point is that, I mean, he is actually supposed to have been making repairs and like you guys have started the process for dangerous and unsafe, so that process does not restart if there's a new owner, so that's what we're asking him to notify the new owner, that they are going to have to attempt to work with you, or, yeah, they're going to take over in the same spot in the process as he's at, it's not gonna start over.
Yeah.
So do you want me to continue the 60 days of just keeping on checking in with you and keeping you posted?
It's gonna be a really ugly look though, if somebody else buys it 30 days later, if we say we're tearing it down because it hasn't met our.
is there a way for us to know what bank it is, so we can communicate with the bank?
Fifth Third Bank.
Okay, can you give me that information? Is that legal?
Did you actually deed it to the bank?
Or
Did you actually deed it to the bank?
actually, that bank took over the bank that I had the loan with. Because they went out of business and so it's a mess and I can't get a loan to fix it. I can't get a loan to fix it. I've tried for a year to get money to fix it, and I used all the money that I had, which was $30,000 that I did. The foundation of the house was falling down, and that's the reason why I wanted to fix it. Now, it is stable right now, it's safe. Now, if a tornado comes through, it'd take it out, but I know, I've been in construction all my life. And I've got pilings down and so, I know it's an eyesore and I apologize for that. I want to work with the bank and we've worked out what we're gonna do. They just have to get back with me. And I would say within the next month or two, we ought to know where we're at.
So would we have your permission to contact your bank?
You can, yeah. I don't have my phone with me, but I can run out and get the phone number, so.
Would you take care of that, Melissa? Who would, Dustin?
Yeah, I'll see what I can.
Okay. All right. Okay with that?
So I just need to come back and give you a vote number.
Sure. Yeah, it gets a point of contact and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So council, just so I have clear direction, you want me to extend it for 60 days and then get it?
bank.
Okay, so talk to the bank.
Hey, Mr. Urban, you have anything else? See you, chief.
I'm gonna get that information from you and come back out.
Okay.
Thank you, chief.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Urban. Anybody got anything else for him?
So talk to the bank and make sure that they're notified and make sure that they honor, they alert the new sellers type of thing.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And then do you want me to reconvene with you for 60 days from now and update your process?
Just make sure.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is the weed ordinance, redefining current boundary responsibility. Agenda item report 23-274.
So city council, as this is continuation of the weed discussion to establish a clear boundary of who's responsible for what, as per my last guidance of the last council meeting, we are gonna take care of the bottom part of the curb, while the top of the curb will be redefined as the constituent or occupant or adjacent landowner will be in charge of the top. And that's pretty much what I updated in this. I took Melissa's original draft and just updated the paragraph redefining the boundary based on the feedback I got at the last council meeting. This is important for us because it'll put a clear line of demarcation, which is currently ambiguous in the current code, especially the right-of-way definition, is what I'm really looking to clear up. And the other part of this, which we haven't talked about, is just updating some mitigation language. Specifically, right now for out-of-town residents, we have to publish it in the paper, and we just think, we don't think that's, it tells me to do it regardless of whether we know who it is or not. And we're just amending it to when we publish it in the paper, if we don't know who it is. Because most of these owners, we do know who they are. But that's just more clerical stuff that we're trying to clean up. The main request I have is to make sure I am honoring your boundaries the way you want me to when I start enforcing it. So we'll take care of the bottom part, the curb, we'll spray for weeds and all that stuff, as we've been doing before, and then we'll start requiring people to mitigate the top part of the curb. This is the way I have it written.
I don't have an issue with that, except I have a little issue with the way you do.
Okay,
So they need to stop at the same place we started. And the way you have it written, those are two spots that are separated from each other.
okay.
You have the top, they're responsible to the top of the curve. And
What page are you on, Lee?
I am on just the memorandum for it in the quote section. Page 18 of 73. Shall be the responsibility of any owner, agent, leasing, tenant, or other person occupying or having charge or control of any premises to mitigate weeds from the property lines of said premises up to the top of the curb adjoining adjacent street, including but not limited to basically everything outside of that. The city shall be responsible for weed mitigation from the bottom of the curb, so there's a gap between those 2 points, so we can just make ours from the top of the curb as well.
Okay, I can make that change if you're willing to approve it, and I'll get it done.
Approving ordinance, this is a new word.
It's updating our existing weed ordinance. Weed
Yeah,
business.
it's a new ordinance.
Yes, thank you.
We don't have a new number.
You can just use the title.
Yeah.
And then Kelly can have the number.
You may not have anything.
No, it's.
Oh, I like it. So it's on 18, or 18 is, oh.
Oh, you've gone further. Oh, just for the towns. Oh, yeah. Nope. One more down. All right, okay. Where did you? Here.
So is that in the body of that ordinance too?
Yes.
But in here,
Right there, I see it. Yeah, appreciate it. So, you know, heard. On the curve says an intersection, is what you're saying. Which there's a lot of mitigation in the curve, actually.
okay.
You see what he's talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm really good at that. That's good. That's a good point, because they crumble, it's just good weeds. And trees.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve an ordinance amending and modifying the city code of the city of Ellsworth, Kansas, removing weeds nuisance section code. With that minor adjustment.
I will second that.
Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion and Councilor Bernard has seconded that motion for the weed ordinance, just making that small adjustment for the 6 inches of curb. That's agenda item report 23-274. Any discussion, concerns?
I haven't, you still didn't address my issue. Where do I quit mowing? Because you guys don't, well, I don't have a curb and it keeps running into the street. How far out do I have to keep mowing? This is ridiculous,
Justin, does this?
and it's not in the thing to address that.
It's just kind of part of the dirt road issue in my thinking.
Any other concerns? Jessica? You with us?
Yes, I've got a question. Weeds like growing in cracks of the sidewalk. Does that, whose responsibility is that? Is that addressed in this? I didn't see it, but I could have missed it.
It's not addressed in the weeds nuisance, it's addressed in the sidewalks. They're responsible for the site maintenance and care of the sidewalks.
Thank you.
All right. Any concerns? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
No. All right, motion carries. Agenda item report, ordinance. 23-27. New business. This is a declaration requested by the Smoky Hill chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution out of McPherson. They want to put literature in our schools, Wilson schools and McPherson schools. Actually, I do read my mail and it sounded like a great idea, so I put it in front of Dustin, and I guess we have to do a proclamation, right?
A declaration is what they're requesting.
Okay. So in this case. I just need that's correct.
Or you can read the background, however you want to do it.
I'll read that. Okay. Smoky Hill Chapter National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution is requesting a city council declaration declaring September 17th and 23rd as Constitution Week in Ellsworth, Kansas. The organization of a special event titled Bells Across America to commemorate this historic occasion. I believe this initiative holds significant historical and civic importance for our community. On September 17th, 1787, our founding fathers signed the United States Constitution, marking a pivotal moment in our nation's history. To honor this foundational document and the principles that uphold the Smoky Hill Chapter of the National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution, is requesting the city of Ellsworth support declaring the week of September 17th as Constitution. Constitution Week is a time when communities across the country come together reflecting the Constitution's enduring significance, freedoms, and responsibilities it grants to all Americans. By formally recognizing the Constitution in Ellsworth, we join in a tradition that has been observed nationwide for decades. The group requests the City Council consider support for the proclamation. The week of September 17th to September 23rd, that you consider allocating any necessary resources or permissions to ensure the success of Bells Across America. And on September 17th, 2023, This declaration of event providing a unique opportunity for our community to celebrate our nation's heritage and values while fostering a sense of unity and civic pride. We believe it aligns with our city's commitment to promoting civic engagement, education, and community involvement. So, they make a motion, I would have to make a motion. So I move that the Ellsworth City Council officially declares the week of September 17th, 2023 as Constitution Week in Ellsworth, Kansas, in commemoration of the historic signing of the United States Constitution on September 17th, 1787. Okay, next item, Kansas Housing Rental Assistance Program Grant Application.
So, Deanne Hawk has been doing this yearly, right, Chief? I may need your help on this one. She has been doing the Kansas Housing Rental Assistance Program. It's a crucial initiative designed to provide much needed rental assistance to residents who are facing financial hardship. Considering the ongoing economic challenges and the impact of housing availability, this program aligns with our commitment to support our residents during their time of need. I am kindly requesting that Ellsworth City Council gives Deanne permission to proceed with the submission, which will require your signature after. Stan, don't let me forget, because I need to get it to her to do this week. If approved. This funding will provide rental assistance to eligible residents within our community. The police department uses it. Correct me if I'm wrong, you use it to help residents that are in need to come to your department, is that correct?
The city uses it, the police department is something last year, that doesn't go on well before I got here.
The amount that she's requesting is $49,000. Kansas housing rental assistance.
Darcy made a motion to approve the grant permission of Deanne, municipal court clerk to proceed with the submission of the application for the Kansas Housing Rental Assistance Program. Councilor Scritchfield has seconded that motion. Hearing any concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Grant permission. Moving on, proposed amendment to the street closure ordinance already.
So council, I am amending my I am requesting amendment to my processes here because I've had multiple requests that I didn't anticipate when I originally wrote it. I am requesting for now, discretion or to update our amendment to reflect, administrative discretion on the insurance requirement simply because kids painting in a street is I don't want to keep bringing these to you. That doesn't mean I'm gonna drop the ball. I still want to stick to the spirit of the law, but I also want to request flexibility so that I can provide good customer service to our constituents, especially the current groups. I don't feel that making them get insurance was a fair requirement. It wasn't my initial intention when I wrote it, but I've come to realize that an update might not be a bad idea. Requesting change to that particular section of the, or I'm looking to amend it.
Councilor Bernard has made a motion to approve the street closure ordinance amendment. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Are there any concerns regarding this amendment?
I think it's a very good idea. Why would we want to make it more difficult for nonprofit organizations to have sidewalk sales, trunk or treat, like the little gal a couple weeks ago had their craft show on her street? If we keep doing this $400 on these different events, it's going to decrease the enthusiasm to have projects like that. And I just think waiving the $400 fee is letting people know that we support them and helping them do their things. And
Anybody else? Thank you, John. What else? All right. Had a motion. Second, so hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, onward to the last item in our new business for 60 minutes. Good. Proposed tree and shrub maintenance ordinance amendment. That's agenda item report 23-275.
So I promised, or I didn't promise, I said I would bring this up because there was the storms that hit on Friday left some down branches in multiple areas of town. I got a contact from Pauline Sickle. Forgive me, I botched names. I got contact from Pauline about the branch that fell in the right of way, and she asked what is the process, and I adhered to the code with the trees and shrubs ordinance. So I was talking to her, and it's pretty specific. The adjacent landowner or occupant is responsible for maintenance. There was some expression that because the library is a community partner. I wasn't going to say anything, but you know,
Always one.
there was a request made to at least bring it to your attention, but while I was bringing it to your attention, I at least wanted to bring a draft of an ordinance that would grant the library exception, if that's your will. My only caution to that is granting exceptions does create a conundrum of, are we going to grant exceptions here? Whereas it's one time blanket. And that's what I wanted to ask your guidance on. I wanted to honor the concerns that were brought to my attention and just get your guidance on how you would approach this. But I at least wanted to provide a draft ordinance to show you that, to reflect the request.
I think part of the issue of the guidance is like huge barrier regarding like that. You know, I remember back in the new trouble. You let the country for that work. I think there's a gray area about who owns what, who's responsible here. And according to the appraiser's office, they have report properties. But they don't have. It doesn't look like that. I have.
Then they better clean it up.
Yeah.
It's leaning on the.
Bottom.
So you gotta push it out 2 inches. Yes. You know, it's a matter of the public. I will let you, I will practice that. All right. Anything else with that? Okay, department heads, recreation, Ronnie, do you have anything? Still here? Is it? Okay. Golf course, here, street. Let's see. What? Right, water and sewer, no joke. Fire, chief, do you have anything? Treasurer. Not here. Okay, but can you mention that nice letter that you received?
Yeah, I forwarded the email to council, but just so you know, Angela got accolades and the entire water department for that matter. The last couple of weeks has been rough between downtown lids and just going around and following all these guys, but Timothy Schwartz and Solar Sites, their contractor, and Alara, I think was their subcontractor. They've all been working with the water department, and Angela was fixed. While Timothy Schwartz, the main point of contact, was the one who provided Angela the compliment. I think that the entire water crew has been assisting these guys on getting installed. Yes.
Nice letter. Building inspector, no, I don't see Delvin. Melissa, city attorney. Okay. Callie, is she with us, I assume?
Yes, she is.
Callie, would you like to add anything?
Nope, I don't have anything.
All right, Dustin.
I just wanted to let council know that, tomorrow I will be in Lawrence learning about Lombers. They have a convention this week. I didn't want to go to all of the convention, but because of the floodplain stuff that I'm currently working through, I'm trying to train myself on certain things. So I'm gonna take a class on Lombers tomorrow in Lawrence. And then Lombers, which is a letter of map provision,
Okay.
which basically means if they decide not to honor our drainage basins for whatever reason, which is my biggest fear. We do have mitigations. It'll cost money, but we can do additional changes here and there to add storage capacity, and then we would submit a LOMR or letter for map revision to FEMA and get that updated.
Anything else you can think of?
Other than the letters I've sent council, no.
Okay. All right, city council, Jessica, do you have anything?
I think Chief was gonna get back to me on the number of dogs a person could have. Is he still there?
We wanted to talk about the floor, and we just wanted to see how you guys, it was outside, so there wasn't really, if you, I kind of thought we talked about, you get some guidance, what you guys are thinking, and we would go from there.
Do they have to be licensed if they're in storage?
All animals have to be licensed.
Okay.
They're all
I've heard
outside.
You have a dog that never goes out.
A lot, that's when they get nice, right?
Yeah,
That's the
What is
thing.
it called?
So do we need, are we looking at, you want clarification on the ordinance coming up, chief, or?
Some guidance from you guys, just as a board, and I understand Jessica's concerned with it. I don't want to see myself, Melissa, and Mr. Stambaugh work on an ordinance and come back, hey, that's not what we were thinking, and just kind of, what are you guys thinking for a number? And I kind of talked a little bit about pit bull ban, you know,
Oh, yeah.
we want to look at, if we're going through that, we want to, what considerations do we want to
Right.
consider?
I think this is believe it or not, it's fairly sensitive. Let's look at other towns. What are they doing that's successful? I would start with that. You know, just similar sized towns in the state where they've been through this. I mean, I think I read about the pit bull situation, things like that, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to decide on a number at some point, but what is that? I don't know.
Right.
Jessica, is there a certain situation, you don't have to name names, that you're concerned with?
I just had a citizen ask me, how many dogs a person is allowed to have. I think they were concerned about, another citizen in the community. So.
Okay.
That's it.
We'll do some research and then try to come up with something.
I'll have Callie reach out to her listener, to city clerks, and we'll get comparative and bring
Right.
it back and kind of go from there.
Sure, okay. Sound good, Jessica?
Sounds good.
Okay, anything else?
That's all for me.
All right, Mr. Tyler, anything for you?
No.
Okay. President of the Council, Wayne Scritchfield, anything for you?
Justin, do you need an executive session? for-
I am requesting one for attorney-client privilege.
Can we have two?
We can do one.
Okay.
You don't need like, they're not elected personnel one?
Yeah, that's your call.
Sounds to me like we should.
Okay,
So which one do you want to do first? Doesn't really matter.
no.
Okay, so you want to stop the,
We'll just come back to that. I don't have anything else.
okay? Yeah, we can make our comments and go to executive session. Aaron, you have anything? No, Darcy, anything?
Well, I was just looking at the amounts we're paying for mitigation of people's properties. And I've heard that we no longer have money to pay to mitigate people's properties, so now what happens?
So some of the other things that I would like to get before council, I'm compiling a price list and a resolution. And then utilize city staff to mitigate some.
I guess my question is, why do we let some of these get so bad, these properties? And then we're paying $2,500 for someone to clean them up. Is there not some way we can take care of them sooner, so it's not costing us $2,500, $1,000 a time? to get them
Absolutely.
Cleaned up?
That's part of why I wanted to stand up the CID, the inspection department, so we can start doing them on a regular basis. A lot of these properties are let go.
All right, so it leaves it up to me. So got a little picture here for you guys that we're at the meeting regarding the insurance company at the rec center about 4 or 5 months ago. So the library had some leaky windows. We got a new insurance company. And they're gonna get $88,000 check to, you know, it's gonna go to Ralph. He's gonna fix, I think, 3/4 of the library. So pretty cool. Your insurance agent delivered, Lucas, right? And so the claim has been paid, so it really helps pay for that. So that was awesome. So want to report that. As long as this is off the record, Alan, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'll have a possibility of a relaunch of Cowtown, maybe, hopefully. Fingers crossed, don't quote me on it. We got another meeting in September. Got a few people pretty excited about it, so I hope that late September we'll have some news. It'll look very different, I will just tell you that for sure. So I think that that'll be a good thing for the community to kind of look forward to. And something else we might want to think about, they're not going to take celebration money. So now all of a sudden, you know, do we want to have fireworks? Do we want to, you know, what else can we do with it? So that was one of the things that they decided they weren't taking more money from the city and kind of do it on their own. And I thought that was real commendable. So fingers crossed, not for sure, but definitely heading in the right direction. The Chrisley Park, I know you and Jessica, thank you for doing that, Jessica. You still there?
So here, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you for working with that committee. I think we're, you know, really want to ask council, you know, in the upcoming weeks, you know, when do we want to wrap that up? I mean, you know, we heard from Don tonight, we We've gotten some research, we've gotten some results, but I think it's something we can't do endlessly. We need to, really think about either an arbitrary timeline or just something to wrap it up and to say, here's what we're gonna do. And, I think the community probably does want that. So just be thinking about that when you have the meeting. And council can kind of start to mull over exactly what they want, because I think we're a year into it now. And, we're gonna take the information we have and just make a decision. And, so I certainly appreciate the information they've got, very informative. I think it's worthwhile because the group now sees the complications of this, and there's value in that. So appreciate it for both of you to do that. That was pretty awesome. So keep us posted with that. And with that said, I am done with my comments. So we need a motion to go executive.
Mr. Mayor, we go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss performance of non-elected personnel with the council, the city administrator, city attorney. Also, that's until, let's say, 6:55.
So Councilor Scritchfield has made a motion to go into executive session until 6:55 with the city administrator, without the city administrator, with the city administrator, council, city attorney, mayor. Sound right? Okay. We have first. Sorry to get done.
Had a motion in a second.
Okay, all right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Motion carries. Go to executive session.
I'll call you, Jessica.
Can somebody record the motions for me, please?
Okay, you do the honor?
yes, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Council.
Bye.
Bye.